Hiya, I'm that James Wisdom, and this is the second part of my Lego build of Lego DC Superheroes Jokerland. So in part 1 we built the Batmobile, the Shooter-matic, which is here, and a couple of other little bits, the robot, the penguin, and this little dunk tank thing as well. So we've got the dunk tank, the Shooter-matic, the Batmobile. So far we've got 2 minifigures out of the set. We've got Batman and the Joker, kind of your main two, I guess they would call that. And then your little robots for the other characters. Just to first of all point out, I did do something slightly wrong on the Batmobile last time we were watching. I missed these 2 pieces here at the front, so there was a bit of extra grey at the front here. That was my bad. I just sort of missed that step in the book when I was going through it. But it's a really nice little build. If you want to see how I built that and see the stock frame of that, that is in the previous video, so go ahead and watch that if you haven't already. Let's now move all of this stuff aside, put all of these out the way, and we'll just leave the 2 characters out. So we've got Batman and the Joker, put them to one side. What we're going to do now is I'm going to start on bag 4. And bag 4 is our Harley Quinn set. It's got Robin and Harley Quinn in there, I believe. Don't know what stickers we're going to use. I can see a cape in here. Let's get the bag opened up. There we go. Just trying to roll everything everywhere. Yep, that looks alright. Get that out of the way. This pack, tyre escaping, comes with 2 small bags by the looks of it. So we've got 2 small bags there. Let's get them opened up. Bag 1. Rubbish out the way. Lots of little pieces in this set. Lots of small pieces. There's a little padlock there for the handcuffs that we're going to have on here. There we go. That's all of them. Great, that's all that. We've got 2 pieces in their own seal. So we've got Harley Quinn's hood or hat, whatever you want to call it. It's probably got an official name, a proper name, one of those, isn't it? In that nice little tearaway bag that they put these specially printed pieces in. There you go. There it is. Let's get rid of the packaging again. There we go. It's nice. It's same as the other one, I believe. The other one, I don't know where the other one is in my room at the moment, so I can't get it out to compare. This, I think, is probably the only piece that's going to be the same for the Harley Quinn model. Great, that's nice. Let's put that to one side for a second. In fact, let's just build her up. So let's find her pieces. Here is her lingerie top. I do find this design of Harley Quinn really funny, particularly in Lego. It just looks really wrong, looks really weird. Oh my word, where is her head? There it is. So she's very, very heavily made up in this minifigure. She's got a grinny face and an angry face. I think for Harley Quinn we probably want a grinny face. There you go, it's a grinning Harley Quinn. There is her hood thing. So she's very heavily made up, as I say. Let's see if we can find the legs. There they are. And again, she's wearing, of course, stockings and pants. Or panties. Basically it looks like she's wearing a sort of weird swimsuit or corset and underwear, and then a little collar choker with some bells on by the looks of it as well. It's a really weird one, this one, I have to say. Oh look, and it's even got a low cut back on the back piece there as well. Lovely. Okay, so that's Harley Quinn. Put her to one side for a second, and then let's get out the Robin. So this is, I believe, supposed to be Dick Grayson Robin, but his early incarnation. Again, another floppy, fabricy cape rather than the plasticky one. As I said before, I'm not as big a fan of these capes. I find them to look just slightly not as good, basically. Yeah, the piece here, actually, I was mentioning this in a previous video, but the body here, which is a different body to previous ones we've had, it feels like rather than being painted on, the arms aren't painted half green and half the skin tone colour, but they're actually made of two pieces of plastic moulded together. You can actually kind of feel it if you run your nail across it. So that's quite an interesting thing they've started doing recently. There we go. So green trousers, green hands, half green, half skin tone arms, cape, which is the soft cape, there it goes. And then here's the head. We've got serious face and scared face. Let's go with serious face. No, let's go with scared face because it's daft. It looks very daft. And there's his hairpiece as well. So he's got black hairpiece. Quite a quiff on the front of that there. You can see. It's quite good though. It's quite a nice little thing. He does, I believe, have a staff in here, or kind of stick thing. One of these. I think it's this one. That you can use as sort of a weapon if you want. But there you go. So we've got Robin and Harley in this set here. In this pair. Keep them there. And I will zoom in on those for you. Go. So that's 4 minifigures now. Batman and Robin, Joker and Harley. This all makes a lot of sense, I imagine. And now let's actually start building the set. So there it is, all built. You could probably tell from looking at me building it, but it's quite large. I wasn't expecting it quite so big. I ended up kind of losing a lot of bits out of the edge of the frame while I was building it. But there you are, all in frame now. It's quite a nice little piece actually. So we've got the mallet, which we were able to build for Harley. So she gets to have the mallet, that's the idea. There you go, Harley with her mallet. It's pretty good. And then the idea would be that she would sit on the bike up here. So I can do it without setting it all off, of course. There we go. So she would sit on the bike up here. Like this. Oh, her mallet's going to force her forwards, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So let's take the mallet off her, and then we'll actually be able to see if this works. Or we could put the mallet backwards, I suppose. There you go, that weights her backwards a little bit. And we've got Robin, who we would handcuff. Let's put his stick out the way there. So we would give him the handcuffs over his wrists like this, perhaps. If we can, of course. It's been a bit of a pain, not gonna lie. There you go. In the picture, it's the other way up, so that you can see his face, I guess, rather than it just being a little dangly thing there. But that works quite well. And then he attaches to the bottom here. So the idea is that when you flick the little sign at the top, which has got the sticker on, sends her down with him hanging off the bottom. It's kind of neat, nice little action there. This is actually one thing that I quite like about this cape, is that because it's not the plasticky type, it does mean that it hangs really well from that. This is really easy to set off. That's the only thing I would say about it, is if you're having this on display, you know, the slightest gust of wind or knock is probably going to send Harley sliding down, or the bike certainly sliding down and hitting the end there. Great, cool, that's really nice. So I'm just going to take off Robin there. Oh. And Harley from her bike up here. I'll leave them with their accessories attached, so you can have your stick as well, Robin. And now what I'll do is I'll just clear off this, take this out of the way, and we'll start on the next pack. Alright, so that was a nice little set there. Now that the camera's slightly further back, I think I'll leave it there, and we will start on pack 5 is what we're after. This one here. And this is the one that I'm quite excited to open. First of all, we've got Poison Ivy. So it's all Poison Ivy set. I realised in the previous video I made a mistake and said Harley Quinn when I was talking about this set, but clearly it's Poison Ivy. Look at all the green. The reason I'm excited to open this one though is we've got Starfire in here. So this is a new minifigure, one I've not got, character I've not got. So slide all the pieces out, try not to lose any as we do. There goes one. There it is. It's looking good. Some quite nice pieces in there. And then, of course, one pack of extra bits. It's all very colour-coded, all of these bags, of course, because superheroes very much are colour-coded. Oh, let's try and get all the bits out of this bag. Didn't tear that open very well there. There you go. Great. So, again, let's first of all go through and have a look at the characters. This looks like it might not be quite such a big build as the previous one. Here is Poison Ivy. I don't have a Poison Ivy. I don't think this is the first Poison Ivy set from Lego, but I'm not entirely certain on that. So either way, it's a nice minifigure to have because I don't have a Poison Ivy. Where's her head gone? I can see Starfire's head, but I can't see Poison Ivy's head. The problem with the heads is they always roll, so I'm hopeful it didn't roll away when I was doing this. Ah, there it is, hidden under some greenery. So there you are. She's quite cool looking. She's got a very angry face on one side, you can see here, and she's got a much happier face on the other side. So let's pop her on there. I'm just going to make sure this camera is all focused up nicely on this area. Should have refocused on her now. and there's her hair. Her hair's a nice piece. It's that traditional Lego piece, but it's red with the leaves printed on as well. So that's really, really nice. That's a nice little piece. She also has a whip, and not just one of these vines that you could theoretically get her to hold, but an actual proper vine whip here. There we go. Bulbasaur would be proud of that vine whip. There you go. Nice. Okay, so let's do the exciting one now. Let's put her to one side. Oh, it's a bit heavy for her apparently. And let's do Starfire. So Starfire, again, two heads. One slightly fearful. One much more neutral, slightly happier looking. You'll notice that it's not the traditional original Starfire costume. It is in fact the newer, slightly less revealing costume, which I actually have to say I do prefer. Got prints on the arms here, so you've got these little bits on the arm here. She'll be in focus down here, so I'll bring that up a little bit larger so you can see it. And I'll show you in a second as well. Her legs. So she's wearing a sort of skirt trouser thing there. Again, printed, very nice. Good qualities, nice shiny silver colour on it. And then, of course, her bright pink hair. Again, another traditional Lego hairpiece. They haven't made a special hairpiece for her, which I always like, I have to say. She does have these sort of blast things. These circular pads are designed to be her blasts. Although in comics, her blasts don't tend to be green, sorry. Get those colours muddled off my head all the time for some reason. There you go. It's supposed to sit on her hand. There you go. And I guess the idea is that that's her kind of fire on her hand. Although I don't remember her having green in the comics. Certainly not the more recent stuff. That said, maybe she does. Maybe I'm just being incorrect. Anyway, there you go. So she's supposed to have that on both hands. It says there were two. There's also another one of the little cufflinky things. What do I want to say? The handcuffs. That's what I was trying to say. Handcuffs. Little handcuffs, which again clip on there, and they become, when you put one of these on, a chain with a padlock. So you got a chain with a padlock there as well, which is always a nice little thing to have. That's quite cool. Okay, so there you go. There's Starfire and Poison Ivy. Two really nice pieces. I really like both of those models. They're very, very nice. So we'll zoom in on them so you can see them in a bit more detail, and I'll show you them off again in a second once I've done the build. So the build itself doesn't look like there's too many pieces here. There is your sign. So that's where our sticker's going to go for this one. We've got these pieces, which are sort of odd, pointy, toothy type pieces that I assumed were not all built in one thing. But they're interesting. I've not seen those before when I've built before. These pillars, again, standard pieces, but I've not seen them in green, certainly not this green. So that could be an interesting thing as well. So let's get building. Okay, so that's that set done. This is a really nice set, I have to say. I really enjoyed this. I love the way they've made the buckles for the seats. They feel like actual theme park buckles that kind of fold up and then over into your lap. I wonder how well they work. Let's just take these things off of Starfire for a second. So there she is. Let's pop her into the focal point there. So you should be able to see her reasonably well. There's her stuff on her arm as well. So I'll show you. So let's fold her up, put her arms up a little bit. And see what happens if we sit her in here. Because I feel like, yeah, so that really kind of neatly kind of holds her, not exactly in place, but close enough. And then the thing with this one, what this one does is, again, it's the same as the previous one. If you hit the sign, it causes the action. So if I knock the sign backwards, the whole thing will fly down. So let's try and do that. And then it falls down to the bottom. Which is, again, really nice. It's very cleverly built. There is one thing on here that I was surprised to find. The pieces on the inside here that you attach these vines to are a very strange colour. They're a sort of muted green that I haven't seen before. So that's quite interesting. You've got some interesting kind of coloured pieces here that I don't think there are any other sets that have these same pieces in these same colours. So you might find that that's kind of an interesting thing if you are a collector of the pieces. But yeah, this is a really nice piece as well. Works really, functions really well. And I really enjoy the whole kind of carnivorous plant thing at the top here. Works really well. Let's spin that around so you can see it from the side. So you've got the carnivorous plant here. It's a really actually relatively simple build in terms of pieces. There's not a massive number of pieces to it, but it works really well. It's a very simple method of knock it backwards and it just slides down. So yeah, there's that one. Again, I'll get this one out of the way. We'll put our characters to one side. Oh, I'll put her little, attach her little hand bits on in a second. I'll get rid of this. And then we'll start on the last bag, probably for this video, which is going to be the penguin set. And that should give us Beast. Right, so here we are, bag 6. Lots of yellow and light blue in here. I can already see Beast Boy's legs here. It's quite nice. So we have a Beast Boy and a penguin. Again, same as before. Beast Boy is a new one for this set. Let's get this opened up while I'm talking. So Beast Boy is new for this set. It's not been in any other sets previous to this. We have had penguin in other sets. Although I don't actually personally have a penguin to compare him to, so I couldn't tell you if the model is the same. Let's just open this little bag up here. It's got a lot of bits in, including Beast Boy's head and stuff. Okay, so let's start with Penguin. He's wearing his traditional penguin suit, of course. I believe he actually has the short legs penguin as his hat when we find his head to put it on. There you are, he's got his short legs. They're in this kind of pink colour. So we've got these sort of pink legs. There is his head. He's only got one face because he hasn't got a hairpiece to go over the top, so he just has a hat instead. I believe he also comes with an umbrella and a gun in this piece. So there's his little gun, which is very gangstery. There you go, his little revolver pistol there. And then I presume this little brown stick, yep, brown stick, and this thing here build his umbrella. And there you go. Of course, the penguin has to have an umbrella because that's his shtick, isn't it? The umbrella. Okay, cool. So that's Penguin. He looks good. As I say, I don't know if he's the same as the previous one. He might be, he might not be. Let's look at Beast Boy. Beast Boy's cool. I like the look of Beast Boy. So here are his legs. All the purple and green. Again, nice little build. There's nothing special about it really. He's got green hands because obviously he's green. Let's have a look at his face. He's got this sort of come get me grin. A bit of a cocky grin, which is the character. And then a sort of worried look with the tiny little tooth sticking out, which is a really nice little expression. So we'll stick with a little worried tooth expression there. And this hairpiece, which I presume must be specifically made for him because it's got ears. It's got his pointy ears because that's one of his name's Garth, isn't it? Garth's character traits. He's got these pointy ears. Even in his sort of human form, he's still green and has these kind of elvish type ears. So that's nice. He once again comes with the handcuffs because each of these characters, I think the idea is the Teen Titans, of course, are useless. So they've been captured by all Batman's villains, and Batman needs to come and save the day because, you know, that's what Batman seems to do in everything. Comes and saves all the other heroes for no reason. I've also got this thing which I really like. So it's a little green snake. For any fans of DC, you'll know that whenever Beast Boy turned into an animal, that's his power, he can turn into an animal, any animal he wants. He is still green, so regardless of what animal he turned into, he's still green. So you've got this little snake, which is presumably him having turned it into a snake. So that's Beast Boy as well as that. I like that as a little kind of addition. It'd be nicer. I mean, it'd be nice if it came with a green gorilla or something. That would be really cool. I'd quite like that. But obviously that is a big fig, and that makes things more expensive. So that's a nice little figure. Let's build his handcuffs as well, if we can find them. And then we will build the main set. So they're the handcuffs, there's the padlock, and there's the clip to attach to that. There we go. And then the padlocks, put it on the right way up. Great. So we can then handcuff him as well if we want to. Or we could just leave him without for now. I've done that with the others, so I will leave this one without as well. Pop them to one side for now. Actually, no, I'll do what I usually do. I'll pop them both in my hand, so you can see them, and I'll try and zoom them both in as well. So let's get them in the focal point. There you go. Got a nice deepish focus. So you've got Penguin, gun, and the umbrella, really nice. Beast Boy, I really like his face. The worried face is really nice. So that's a nice set as well. Great. Put them to one side. And put the handcuffs over there as well. And now we'll build the set. Okay, so here is our last set for characters. So we've got all 8 characters out now. You can see there, so all 8 of them out and about. What you've got here is you've got 3 little ducks that just spin around here. There's a cog on the back that allows you to spin it. It's a nice little icy design. It really suits the penguin. And I really like the fact they gave you dynamite to put in each of the ducks. That's kind of cool. My favourite feature, I have to say, of this particular piece is the little sharks. I love the little sharks with the tooth or claw being used in one circular piece. So flat circular piece with the shark fin coming out the top. I really like that. Also, I like the design of it. It's very ice type stuff. So there was a previous set which has these same ice pieces in, which was also a Batman set, which was a set which was Batman, the Bat Boat or Bat Sub, whatever it was, and Aquaman. It was the first Aquaman set they did, and it came with a little ice prison. I've got that here actually. I've got it behind me. It's on display here. So there's that one. I usually have my little Superman just standing on it, just as a little display item really. But you can see the pieces there really match up well. So you could, if you wanted to make a slightly larger display of this, add that in as a sort of extra piece there. Let's pop that out the way, but that's quite nice. So actually I think most of this set really works very well with other Batman sets that have been previous. So we've got this one, which works obviously with that little piece that came from the Mr. Freeze set. So you'd have Mr. Freeze and Penguin and this little carnival-y fair thing. But you've also got the Joker main area, which we'll do next, which is the bags 7 and 8, which I think will work really, really well with the previous Joker, the Funhouse one. Okay, so that is that piece. We've got all our characters out now, as I say, so let's just drag those forwards for a sec. We've got 8 characters out here of these boxes. So the only thing left to do now is to build the final build of the Joker's actual Jokerland. And what I think I will do is I will probably put that into a separate video, just to make sure that this video doesn't run too long. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. You've seen all the characters now. Come back for the final part, which should be a relatively short one, just because it's one build. But it's the largest piece, the main piece of Jokerland. So do come back and watch that. I've been that James Wisdom. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to go and check out the previous part and check out my vlogs and stuff like that. So I do the Naked Truth response video to Trisha Hirschberger's videos. I'm also doing streaming once a week at the moment. At the moment I'm doing Broken Age, so I'm doing an hour's streaming of Broken Age every week. And I will be moving on to doing other games after I've finished that one. So if you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, all that nonsense. And come back and watch the next part of the video.